Hello, welcome to the second episode. I'm joined by James once again.
Hello, welcome back everyone. You thrilled?
We're absolutely thrilled to have you.
Thrilled. Yeah. So
Um,
this episode is all about Scarefest and other scare attractions, right?
Yeah, we just thought, you know what? We enjoyed the first one. We'll come back with a bang. We'll just do something that's topical and something that we can sort of
It is quite
excited.
topical. It is quite topical.
Exactly. It's just going to be
Almost
good fun.
like, almost like it's Halloween soon or something.
It's almost as if scare mazes are happening right now.
That would be crazy though, Dan. Are you serious? We happen to be talking about scare mazes whilst they're actually happening.
Yeah, it's a big coincidence.
Damn, I'm blown away. Right, okay.
Well,
So I reckon we start with talking about our favourite scare mazes.
yeah, completely. So if you want to go first,
Completely. There he goes again with completely.
Oh my god, bro. Right.
We're gonna count how many times you say it this time.
We'll keep a count. We'll keep a count in the bottom hand of the screen.
It's completely.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan. What's your favourite scare attraction? Well, start with
Okay.
Towers. What's your favourite one at Towers?
Right. So my favourite scare attraction at Alton Towers, is this of all time or currently?
I reckon we just do all time at the moment, because why not?
Okay. My favourite scare attraction at Alton Towers of all time would
Drum
have
roll, please. Yeah.
to be Terror of the Towers.
Wow, who would have guessed you would have said that?
What lies within? Yeah.
And so you mentioned it in the episode before.
Yeah, I've got some kind of like link with Terror of the Towers where
Sorry. I was going to
So
ask if it was the first scare maze you ever did.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Maybe that's why you've got a special link with it.
Yeah, I really love it. And like the thing is, I don't know, I can't quite put uh, a reasoning behind it. I love the fact that it was the first maze that Towers ever did. I mean, obviously in 2002 it was Terror in the Towers, but
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
did you not?
I don't
Yeah,
actually know that much in regards to terror how on the Towers.
yeah. Well, in
Oh,
2002, the Halloween event at Alton Towers was called Spooktacular, and
that's
a,
cute.
a designer called Linton V. Harris, he decided that he was going to help out with Alton Towers and Thorpe Park to make a maze. And with Towers, he made Terror in the Towers, and at Thorpe Park, he made the Freezer. Um, and
Shit.
and that is why Terror in the Towers and the Freezer were quite similar in terms of the tactics of the scares and the way that the maze was set out.
That's really interesting and really cool, and I'm glad you told me that because I literally didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
So
and
what was the name of this designer guy?
Linton V. Harris.
He said so exquisite. Did
Yeah.
he ever do anything else since then?
I'm not 100% sure. I know for a fact that he was involved in something called Sudden Impact. I'm not 100% sure what that was, but that's where they got him from. And the reason that they enjoyed and wanted him to do it so much is because the mazes that he designed were very, very long. And Terror in the Towers was actually one of the longest and best themed scare mazes in Europe at the time. And
It's amazing. It was amazing. I'll give you that. Especially like with the theming and the layout and the design. That was what topped it for me. I don't think it was that scary though, but it was an amazing experience to walk through. I just loved how it was in the towers. Like it gives it a
I
hearty feel. The fact that it played on the towers, that's what like towers should do more, but they don't.
Yeah, well, in the Terror of the Towers, in that same year that it started, they actually just added park-wide theming, and they had a kids area called Edna's Eerie Story Zone.
What at towers?
Yes.
Oh wow. How,
and
what year is this?
2002, and
Is this
the
round about when they had? I don't know when they had. You maybe this episode is just you educated me.
possibly. I mean,
Um, but that's a good layout for a podcast. I feel you can educate me and literally everybody else who happens to listen.
yeah,
My question is, when did Field of a Thousand come about? Then was that
Field of
around the
a
same
Thousand,
time? Or?
Field of a Thousand Screams, I believe, came out in 2000, and I know Room 13 was the second maze. I think, yes, Field of a Thousand Screams came out in 2007, which was when Alton Towers rebranded and called their Halloween event Scarefest.
Oh, I remember Room 13. Like not personally, really, but I remember watching videos about it somehow. A
Yeah,
long time ago. This is. But
yeah.
let's go back again because I've dragged this way further than it needed to be. This me getting confused. So Vincent Doubt, King of the World, the designer guy, he Luton. What was his name? I forgot again. It's really it's a big name.
It is, and it also
Is,
sounds like
is he
very royal.
French?
I don't think so. I
It
think
just it's a name that I'd expect to see inside of Terror in the Towers.
yeah. Let me just work this out. A lot of this stuff I already knew, but I'm looking some of it up because I'm not completely okay. Linton V. Harris is the founder of the Sudden Impact Entertainment Company based in New York.
Oh
The
wow.
company has created temporary and permanent scare attractions for amusement parks and traveling carnivals all around the globe. He's American,
See, now that's really cool.
and
That's
he was a
cool.
DJ.
He was what?
He at the age of 15, he started his career as a DJ.
Oh, check him out. Throwing down those beats.
Exactly.
The Monster Mash. That's what he was playing.
Oh, if you about the Monster Mash, that
Oh
year,
god, here we go.
at Alton Towers in the Halloween Spooktacular 2002, 2003, there was no house inbuilt horror music. They used Monster Mash, Ghostbusters, other
Oh wow.
Halloween music tracks around the park.
Well, that's crazy. But they didn't have what's his name? Uh damn, I've been
Nick,
out of the community for a long Yeah, Nick Hudson.
yeah,
Uh
the famous celebrity Nick Hudson.
what a guy. I'm sure we could do a whole episode on Nick Hudson one day. But
Yeah,
so that's amazing. I've learned a lot about Tyrannotars there. So
thank you.
I have to say, for that to still be your favourite scare maze, it's had a lot of competition.
It has, and the thing that I love about it is that although they've had the whole Towers Terror in Terror of the Towers for so many years, in fact, they had it for 2002 to 2017, so they had it for 15 years. They they actually made variations of it three times. There was Terror in the Towers. Then they bought out in 2006, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, 2006. They rethemed Terror of the Towers and called it Terror of the Towers Bloodfest Banquet. And then in
I remember
2000,
that.
you remember that one, yeah?
Yeah.
And then in 2009, they rethemed it again to Terror of the Towers: What Lies Within, which takes the crown for me, which is my favourite scare maze at Alton Towers.
I did really enjoy it. I like the whole feel of it. It's really atmospheric. Like some of the other mazes, like Sub doesn't. I don't know the way the whole package of it does make you feel more like you're there than some of the other mazes like Sub and things like that. Because Sub feels. I know it's supposed to, but it feels like just metal, scary, loud music. You know what I mean? Like not metal music, but metal. There's a lot of metal.
Yeah, that's true.
You just shoved in a maze. Whereas that's what I like about that's the words I was trying to get out. Where it just feels like a maze with people jumping at you. Whereas Tot didn't feel like that. That's what I liked about it. It kind of just felt like you were immersed into a story, and it didn't feel as threatening, but it was still really creepy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm scared for a different reason in Tot than I was in Sub. Like in Sub, I was scared because I felt threatened, and in Tot, I was scared because I didn't know what was going to come around the next. What I was going to walk around the next corner and find. Like a perfect example is like I've never had anything build me up to a point where just walking past. I know they're supposed to do this, but you know the statues
Oh
on the
yeah,
corridor, and when you're walking past them, you're like, one of them's going to come alive and kill me.
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the difference between the mazes, such as subspecies, and the new for 2018 Project 42, the difference between them and Terror of the Towers, which made Terror of the Towers stand out so much to me, was the fact that when you're watching something like Subspecies, when you're in something like Subspecies, sorry, it's like watching a horror movie that's
Yeah,
very gory and like you feel very intimidated. Whereas with Terror of the Towers, it was very much like watching a Dracula kind of film where
like
you
yeah,
get,
you're sort of curious. You want to see more.
yeah,
Whereas in Sub, you want to just get out, which is very
that's
true. So that's your favourite then, and still to this day. Unfortunately, you've had to say goodbye.
oh, I'm gutted, man. But I'm happy because last year I made the point to I only went to Scarefest once last year. I bought the triple ticket and I said to my friends, I said, I love Terror of the Towers so much. So we ended up buying a single ticket. So we went on top twice just to say goodbye.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a shame. I don't think I'd. I can't remember if I did it or not. I can't remember what mazes. We must have, because I went with my ex last year, and she was terrified of every maze, so I was more busy looking after her. And I mean,
Yeah,
like terrified. We did welcome in. We did. I think we did welcome in. Yeah, all right. This was it. We did welcome in Sub last year. That was it.
yeah,
Which is kind of mean of me, to be honest, because she absolutely hated the welcoming which I should have at that point been like, fine, we'll do something a little less scary. But I was like, come on then, let's go buy tickets for Sub. It was partly for my entertainment, but I feel like I made a mistake because she really did not enjoy that at all. Like, I don't think mazes were her thing.
What you should
No.
have done is you should have just broken in easily and gone into House of Monsters and been like, oh, it's fine. All of the mazes are like that.
And
And
then
then,
taking her into Sub. Yeah, yeah. Well, what happened is we ended up running out of Sub. Well, I was chasing after her. She fell down onto the grass and just cried her eyes out. And I was like, "Do you want a fag?" And she was like, "I want a whole packet." But yeah, my favorite maze of all time. Can you guess what I'm gonna say before I say it?
yeah, it's James's favorite maze of all time, Alton Towers, is the Sanctuary.
Yes. You spot on there, mate.
Yeah,
Do you know what? Do you know what the thing for me was? It was all of the background media for it, like for the Smiler, which tied in with the Sanctuary. It was the music. It was the clinical feel to it. It was the way it was really fucking mysterious. It was just
yeah,
everything, and then the way that it was tied to this giant spaghetti mess of a ride that was really intimidating to just look at. I was like, I have to get immersed into this. Like, I want to be part of this story, which is really where I'm finding it difficult with the Wicker Man because I like the story for the Wicker Man, but I can't get as it doesn't attract me as much as like the Smiler. But I think that's just because I'm into more dark things. If you understand what I'm saying, like, uh,
yeah.
but we'll get to
James,
welcoming later.
do you want to hear some facts about the Sanctuary before we go on to our next segment?
Yeah, tell us some facts, but then I want to explain why it's my favorite.
Yeah, of course. Scarefest 2012. 2012, it was a really good Scarefest for the resort. And the main role of Scarefest that year was, of course, marketing the Smiler. Um, Obviously, it was a new arrival, a massive world record-breaking roller coaster that was coming the following year.
I had a
So the
great Scarefest. I met Sean Sambrook. I got a picture with him.
Scarefest was the perfect period of time to start the anticipation for the next season. Um, the Sanctuary replaced the Boiler House,
Which was
and
terrifying also.
it was. And it was a hospital facility located inside the towers that was shut down 50 years ago, overseen by the mysterious Ministry of Joy. The doors to the sanctuary were reopened under the careful watch of the chief founding member, Dr. Kelman. The aim of the sanctuary was to find potential advocates who would be eligible for correction on the ministry's brand new project, which was eventually revealed in January to be the Smiler.
Wait, halt, pause. Like that right there. How can you not fall in love with that as a story? That's
I think
brilliant.
it's a story.
It reminds me of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh yes, and obviously they played the music from One
Oh
Flew Over.
yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. Carry on.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is one of my favorite films.
It's brilliant. I love it. It's very emotional.
I really like that film.
Me
So
too.
why was it your favorite maze then, James?
Right. Okay. Because it was similar to Tot in that you were curious about what was next, right? So it wasn't sub in your face like we're gonna kill you. It wasn't terrifying, but it was the eeriness of how welcoming it actually was, and like how clinical it was. But every single step of the way through, like even though I was like creeped out by everything, there was this compelling feeling in my body to wanting to know what was next. And then when you went into the normalization room and all that shit was playing, and then for the first time going into it and then understanding what the Smiler was going to be, it was such a good feeling for an enthusiast, especially. And all the while, it was creepy as fuck. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to find a maze at Towers that creeps me out that much again. Like it was the creepiness of it, not like the scariness, but the creepiness.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So before we go on to our next bit where we talk about our best memories at Scarefest, I'm going to do a quick overview of what Scarefest actually has been over the years and how it's evolved.
Okay, good idea.
So, as he said, as I said before, in the first
As
year,
he said, as in you.
yeah, Alton Towers introduced in 2002 Halloween Spooktacular, where they brought out terror in the towers with park-wide theming and a children's area called Eerie Edna's Story Zone, and they played Ghostbusters, Monster Mash, and other Halloween-related music tracks around the park. This was the same in 2003. In 2004, the Halloween Spooktacular was underway to introduce a second horror attraction. Unfortunately, budgets meant that they couldn't have this spectacular that year. Um, they wanted to relaunch the Halloween event in the following year, but in 2005 it became increasingly difficult and could not do it. And in 2006 they could also not do it, whereas they were going to retheme it to simply Alton Towers Halloween. In 2007, they completely modified it and brought out Scarefest, where they had Terror of the Towers Bloodfest Banquet, Room 13, which was in the Alton Towers Hotel, and also near the hotel was a new maze called A Field of Thousand Screams, which was a full-size cornfield where guests went into a fictional village called Altonville, which had been overrun by the undead. Inside the park,
Altonville,
yeah, that's not current in terms of
eh?
me. And
Ooh.
in park entertainment, they had a laser show in Her Ladyship's Gardens called Fright Lights, and they also made Haunted Hollow a live attraction for actors placed along the route, and it was more of a family sort of scare. In 2008, Fright Lights was taken away, as was Haunted Hollow Live, and was
Hang on,
replaced with,
pause again. That's annoying that they got rid of a lighting show.
yeah,
That would have been really cool to see. Do you reckon we'll ever see anything like that again? Like for
possibly
Halloween, for
not
Scarefest?
not in Her Ladyship's Gardens.
Well, no, but just like we don't have fireworks at Scarefest. Obviously afterwards for fireworks. But do you reckon we'll ever see any other like laser show or like, they could easily project onto the towers.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea.
Anyway, I'll let you continue.
Okay. Um, Haunted Hollow was replaced with Jewel Live, which was essentially Jewel, but there were actors at certain parts around the ride. Room 13 did not return in 2008, but
And some
look,
say that there's still people missing.
yes, I have heard that
Yeah, crazy.
they've gone. I think James Butler is one of those people.
Yeah, and Andrew Seeley
Yeah,
and Jack Gator. Where's he?
and Will Donahue and
And Maddie McCann. Probably the most well hidden. Oh,
located
there's
in
so
the.
many people we get to talk about soon.
Oh, it's going to be incredible.
It's gonna be great.
Um, located in the marquee next to the Field of Thousand Streams, 2008 introduced the Boiler House. And also replacing the scare rooms, there were trick or treat rooms, which was for children in the Alton Towers Hotel.
That's
In
really
two,
cool.
it
I didn't know
is.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
really charming idea.
it's really nice because obviously as a park you've got to cater for everyone.
That would be
Um,
great for kids as well.
yeah, I mean, Maddie McCann must have been. No, I can't say that. Um, I mean, in 2009 they've revamped it all, so it's Terror of the Towers, What Lies Within, and essentially it was just a bigger investment for the park. This also introduced the strobe light section. Dual Live returned, however, it got really mixed reviews, and some said that it was much better, and some said that it was absolutely crap. The Field of a Thousand Screams was in its third year, and this was also its final year. Um, and the Boiler House also returned, but this is when they introduced the story of the Hamble twins.
Oh yes, I remember that very vividly because I was just coming of age, and I'm not gonna lie, it was probably what fueled most of my nightmares as a child. Those
It was a
posters all around the park were brilliant, though.
of the two, or what of Victor and Elsie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. In 2010, um, they transformed Spook's Playground into Old MacDonald's Farm, and they added Halloween lighting for Franklin's Freaky Farm, and most of the areas were covered with green and red spotlights, and scripture was projected onto the walls of the towers for a better atmosphere. Obviously, Terror of the Towers was there. Dual Live was there, but it was a slightly modified version, renamed Skelvin's Haunted Adventure.
Hey,
Um,
Scalvin, my main G.
Skelvin. The thing is, this is what I don't understand. Skelvin's a skeleton.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Patch is a pumpkin.
Yep.
Franklin is Frankenstein's monster,
Yep. Yep.
and then there's a mummy called Phil.
Yeah, but what? Come on. If it was, if he was named something like beginning with M or like incorporating Mummy and not Phil, would we love him as much?
No, we wouldn't.
Because Phil is my favorite.
Well, there we go.
But it could wait. He's called Phil because you fill you to mummify something. You fill them
That's
up.
that's what I thought. I thought that's quite clever. But it's also
That
quite
is pretty
stupid.
clever. If only, well, it's so stupid that I only just clicked in why he's called Phil. Never
Oh.
mind.
So yeah, obviously in 2010 they kept the boiler house.
Wait, pause again. If anyone can rename Phil in the comments right now,
Yeah.
just think of something clever, and I won't send you a prize.
Yeah. I mean, you can meet me and James on Halloween if you want.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the boiler house, that's pretty standard. The trick or treat rooms were there, but they were sort of a toned down version of the scare rooms. And room 13 was opened again. Um, and can you guess what else was opened in 2010, James?
2010. Carnival of Screams.
That's the one, Carnival of Screams,
That was
which
scary. Oh, when
everyone,
they used to let the clowns out, the clowns would escape. Do you remember that?
yeah.
That was brilliant.
In 2011, they opened a new attraction called Zombie Scare Zone, which was always quite good.
I like Zombie Scared Zone.
And they moved
Oh,
Carnival.
do you know what? Wait, the way you're talking about all this stuff and it's bringing back so many memories. Give me a second. I've got a raging hard on. Continue.
Oh my god! And then obviously they moved Carnival to X Sector. The Boiler House was still there, and Terror of the Towers again was still there. So not many changes in 2011. In
No.
2012, we got the incredible Sanctuary. Um,
Oh yes.
um, the
Which was swiftly taken away from us, may I add.
Yeah, it was. I think it should have stayed for a lot more time than it did.
Yeah, definitely.
Zombie Scare Zone was still there. Carnival of Screams was still there. Terror of the Towers was still there. However, Terror of the Towers was free admission. Um, and
Bring
frankly,
it back. Bring
yeah,
it back. Bring it back.
exactly. Bring it back and make it free.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great idea. Can you remember
Franklin,
what years they started introducing the extreme tickets?
I'll be shortly getting onto that.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, I'll let you continue reading.
It's all right. I'm just being a bit of a nerd. Um, Franklin's Freaky Farm, final year, because they were reverting the farmyard into CBeebies Land. And it then relocated to Fountain Square the following year, and then Franklin's Freaky Fun Zone.
What was
Um,
that? Can you say that again? You went a little bit quiet.
yeah, they took Franklin's Freaky Farm and took it from the farmyard to the Fountain Square and renamed it Franklin's Freaky Fun Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Up at the hotel, the Altonville Motel opened up, and the scare rooms were back. And then, obviously, throughout Scarefest, there were a lot of images of smiley faces appearing all over the resort, which
I wonder why.
we shortly found out about a ride that was meant to open in May and ended March and ended up opening in May.
And do you know what was really cool about that with their marketing as well? Do you ever remember the videos? They were like the lost tapes.
Yeah, they were good.
They were really cool, weren't they?
Yeah,
Where it's like follows like Jess and Dan or whatever, and
yeah.
they steal from what's his name?
Miles.
Well, I know it's Pete Cliff in real life,
Yeah,
but
I can't remember Miles something.
Miles Smiles.
Miles. Yeah.
But yeah, they were really cool. I don't know if any of you have ever seen them. If not, go check them out because they're on YouTube. Just type in like Smiler marketing videos or something like that. But they were really cool.
I can put the link in the description.
Do it because they were really cool. It's like a
Yeah,
4-part series.
it was really.
Yeah, and it shows their adventure discovering about smiling advocates and what the Ministry of Joy were up to. I'm so in love with that theme.
Good. In 2013, Carnival of Screams was free. The Sanctuary and
Hey,
Terror.
bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
They're not going to bloody Merlin, but
True.
Sanctuary and Terror of the Towers were paid attractions.
What if
Um,
we all just refuse to pay and nobody goes on the mazes and then they go, oh shit, well, we might as well let you in for free.
or they just take Scarefest out of the lineup for the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That would make me cry.
Keep paying people, keep paying.
In 2013, it was the first time that guests could pay for an extreme run through of either the Sanctuary or Terror of the Towers.
I remember doing it was with Jack Gator. I'm pretty sure first time I ever did an extreme run through. And Chris Franklin, and I was way too young to be hanging out with people like that. But we did it on the Sanctuary, and it was horrible.
Talking about Chris Franklin, I went to Drayton Manor not too long ago, back in August, and he was working for Haunting, and I'm not joking. He has never made the Haunting scarier than when it was that. I'm not.
Why? What did he do?
Right, you've been on the Haunting, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume watching have been on the Haunting. There's a part in the Haunting, like these are spoilers, but there's a part in the Haunting where you go into a bit of a pre-show room, and it's a big square, and there's loads of special effects and projection mapping and things like that. The host has to be in that room whilst that part of the ride is going on. Now, any normal host would stand there. Not Chris Franklin. Chris Franklin decides to get on his hands and knees, crawl around the corners of the room, and then in the faces of the guests, and it would be scary. It would be scary if he was dressed up.
Oh my god, he was just in his uniform.
He was in his bright blue Drayton Manor.
What is going on with that boy? What is going on with him? He wants to be part of the action. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I said to him, you did a really good job.
I would have just asked him if he was okay.
Yeah, he kind of tried to put on this creepy face and scare people, but when he's dressed up in a Drayton Manor,
he's scary enough anyway. He's got a scary face. Do you know, I went around subspecies with him and his dad, and I stood on his dad's foot, and Chris Franklin's dad actually said to me, "Sorry, mate, that's a good story." Stood on his father's foot. I went round subspecies with Jack Gator, Chris Franklin, and Chris Franklin's dad, and then after that, as the last ride of the night, we went on Oblivion front row on our own, and that's the weirdest night I've ever had in my life, Dan. Such a random group of people.
Oh, incredible! I love that. But what was I gonna say? Chris Franklin, right? You know he
Yeah.
speaks like this. All right, guys, won't know.
Yeah, I
No,
do.
no, this is fine. Enjoy the actual guy, right? I'm not joking. I was in a group of about 10 to 12 people, and at least
Mr.
half of that,
Popular.
yeah, at least, no. I mean, this ride was batched about 10 to 12.
Oh, okay. So you haven't got 12 friends.
No, I've only got about four. But,
I thought you only had one. What?
oh, it's always you, mate. And, and I'm not joking, it was hilarious. At least 6 or 7 people went, what did he just say? After he was,
Really?
oh, bless his little
Did he
cotton
go at
sock.
the end? Check out Theme Park Worldwide.
No, he didn't, but if he did, I would have filmed it and made him do it all over again.
Yeah. Well, where were you with the story though? Because Chris Franklin, I mean, he is great, but the continuing history of Scarefest.
Yeah,
We were at the Carnival. No, we weren't. Sanctuary. I don't know. I've forgotten.
yeah.
I think we were.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, Extreme Tickets. Did any of you guys comment down below if you've ever had an experience with the Extreme Tickets? Dan, did you ever get to go on?
No, I didn't.
You had to sign something.
Yeah, like a waiver.
Yeah, it's weird. They were
Well,
good. They were really good though. They should bring them back. I think an Extreme and Sub would be pretty. They did that, didn't they? Actually, last year.
yeah. I'll tell you about that in a second. So,
Getting too eager.
oh, mate, I am eager. Because we got a lot to get through in this episode, and like we only have a certain amount of time. Because it took me bloody ages to edit that last one, and it was still
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
throw that
all
shit music away this time.
yeah, all those 32 views and those 6 subscribers we've got. I hope you're enjoying this. So
It's just
we've
Emily
got
Jane Kinder and friends. That's all.
yeah, but I enjoy it, so fuck it.
I love Emily, so I'm glad she's listening. I don't know if she is. I haven't got full confirmation, but I can only presume.
I've got to shout out Emily. You've also got to shout out Emily Rose because she said she expected a shout out and I didn't give her one last week.
Oh, did she listen last week?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, we've got a fan base. All right. Also, hi to Sev Royale. She commented on a video saying she loved the music last time, but I didn't want to tell you because I thought it was shit. Who else should we shout out? Should we do a shout out bit at the end instead?
No, just do it now. I want to give a shout out to Sean
Okay.
Sambrook.
Oh shit, Daddy Sean, thank you so much for what you've given me.
I want to give a shout out to
You're going shout out crazy now though, Dan. You don't want to give too many shout outs out, or else it looks like we're trying to suck dick.
Okay, in that case, I want to give a shout out.
Actually, can you shout out James Smiles, please?
Yeah, shout out to James Smiles and also shout out to James Smiles' mum.
Oh, yeah, hello? Don't worry, don't listen to it. Hello? Just
Fuck off.
ignore it.
Anyway, carry on.
Thanks, Dan. I really appreciated your comment. I don't know if she's like a Cockney male, but
Danny Dyer is your mum.
yeah. No, Danny Dyer is your mum.
Swiftly moving on. The Sanctuary, Terror of the Towers, Carnival of Screams, and Franklin's Freaky Fun Zone, the scare rooms, and the zombie scare zone. That was 2013. 2014 was the introduction of Scary Tales.
Love Scary Tales.
I enjoyed that.
That was one of the better walkthroughs because it was an actual experience rather than just lights and actors screaming at you.
Yeah, and then there was Zombie Scare Zone, Freaky Fun Zone. There was bloody loads. The Ultimate Sleep. Do you remember the Ultimate Sleepover?
No idea what you're talking about. Actually, I don't think I do remember that at all.
Right, so the Ultimate Sleepover was this.
Oh, you wanted me to say no, didn't you?
Yeah, to be honest.
Okay.
blah 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 blah. So here we go. Um,
Come on, Dan. The podcast waiting for us.
for the first time, the resort offered guests the opportunity to stay the night in the Gothic Tower's ruins and experience the terror with.
Oh, I
with
do. I do
yeah,
remember. I remember Sean's video about it. I I forgot about that. That was cool.
a seemingly harmless ghost hunt, and as the night progressed, the dark secrets of the towers revealed themselves.
See, that looked really cool as well. I would love them to do that again, but it was very limited though, wasn't it?
Very, very, and it's quite expensive as well.
That would have been really cool though.
Yeah, and then 2015 is when Pete Cliff came in and turned Scarefest.
Pete boy,
It's when he came in and turned Scarefest on its head.
forever,
So
mate, forever.
he bought in 4 new attractions. He bought in the one and only subspecies, the End Games. The Haunting of Molly Crow, which I think was very underrated.
It, it was just flawed, mate. The
Yeah,
ending was great. It's the whole blindfolding thing, man. It doesn't work. I don't think it works at all. I don't like it in Welcoming.
no, but the majority of Welcoming is very well themed.
I think once you've done the thing is with the blindfold thing is like once it's done, like it's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll stop being
Not,
a little negative bitch. You
yeah,
continue.
Nox Infernus, Dark Apocalypse, and also there was
Which,
a
which did you prefer, Nox and Furnace or Dark Apocalypse?
as an experience, Nox Infernus, but Dark Apocalypse was a lot scarier.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Completely.
Oh, oh, oh,
Oops.
wow. And then that same year, they gave us subspecies Operation Lockdown, which was a horror escape room experience to the theme of subspecies, the End Games.
I wish I had got to experience that, but I was too young.
Yeah, me too. um, they
Sounds
also
great
had
though.
they also had the RIP tour,
The RIP tour. Oh yeah, yeah, but
which
only daft rich cunts got to do that.
yeah,
Pretty sure Alex Weston did that.
yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. No offense to you, Alex. It's just you're very dedicated to Alton Towers.
Yeah.
2016 was the introduction of Altonville Mine Tours and covered the legend of the Skin Snatchers, and it was also the first time we
I'll
saw
be kicking them shafts.
And Freak Show and House of Monsters.
Yeah, House of Monsters is amazing. That's so funny. I had such a good time doing that. I did it. I only did it. I've only ever done it on staff preview night, but it was really, really good.
I think Freak Show was very overrated.
Freak Show. Oh no, not Freak. I'm not talking about Freak Show.
No, you're talking about House of Monsters.
Yeah, Freak Show is overrated. It's kind of just. It's a bit cheap, really. It feels a bit cheap.
Yeah,
It's not very engaging, really. You can walk through it pretty easily without anything happening, and it's not very scary either. They're not scary freaks.
it's very Carnival of Screams in my opinion.
Carnival of Screams was freaky though.
Yeah, I guess
Remember the
so.
music for it?
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah, and then finally, because we got to just get through this, Scarefest 2017, the Welcoming was introduced, and we were also given our final goodbyes to Terror of the Towers. And then this year we've got Project 42, which I still don't really understand.
Ooh, I'm quite nervous about it, but it just seems a bit complex.
Oh no, I'm just shitting at that. No, actually, I'm not shitting myself for any of them yet. But give
When
it
you
like
get there, you'll be shitting it. When you can hear the thumping bassy speakers going through to your soul, and you can hear people screaming on the inside, your palms will start getting sweaty, and you'll look at me, and you'll be like, and I'll look at you, and I'll be trembling, and I'll be like, shit, I can't do this. So I'll go quiet for a moment. I'll stop talking, which is very unlike me, and then, we'll have a fag. Oh, we won't actually. You can't smoke in the queue lines, but have an imaginary fag. Um, I'll hold your hand and I'll look you in the eyes and I'll say, Dan, it's gonna be okay. We can beat the creature, the virus, and we'll go in and we'll rule the world, mate. We'll come out alive with a whole group of people that we saved, and the evidence will be on camera. Sorry, I got taken away a little bit there. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
I hate to say it, but I'm more nervous about subspecies than Project 43.
Well, I'm always nervous about subspecies, but I don't like sub to hear what I think because if it hears that I'm scared, then it's gonna scare me more. So if I just go and acting odd, I'll be alright.
Yeah, that's it. And I just think Terror the Towers is going to be such a loss. Like I'm going to miss it so much.
It's alright, we make our own. We can go like urban exploring. Remember what happened to the last people that did that?
Yeah,
See? It all goes back round.
we could do a Zach White and make our own maze.
Zach made his own maze.
Zach's been making his own maze every year for the past like 4 years, and they've just been getting better and better.
I didn't know this.
He's working at Extreme Screen Park now, but he was making his maze last year. They did one called Slaughterhouse, and then the year
Oh,
before,
I've seen him with maze stuff, but I didn't know he was actually making them. That's really fucking cool.
yeah, he used to do this
Well, we
thing
need to
where
get we need to get Zach on then before that Halloween ends, so we can talk about it.
yeah, like he was amazing. I mean, I went to Scarefest with him last year, and he had this thing where he'd make a maze in his garage or back garden, and he'd have a big event where like family and friends and like local people can come to it, and it'll just be like a Halloween party, and everyone would get like a certain amount of times they could go through the maze, and all night he'd just be operating the maze with a couple other people. It was really good. It was really
That's
well done.
that's really really cool. That's Zach. Fucking hang on a second. You fucking hero, mate. You champ. You champion. Yes, mate. I love Zach. You know, I really love Zach. Some of my fondest memories from Scarefest are with Zach. When he fucking injected himself because he's riddled with diabetes.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
first time I've ever seen that. Were you there? I think we were all sat in. Yeah, we were because it was me, you, your friend, Zach, Emily, and we were all playing Never Have I Ever.
oh yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean? What was that? Do you remember that? It was in SFC.
Fried chicken co, yeah.
Yeah, fried chicken. That was amazing. That was a great memory. I don't know why that's so fond with me, but I just remember being sat there munching on chicken. And there's a video of it from it somewhere, but it's like me trying to steal your chicken or something on a video, but I don't know.
We had a proper bromance that day because that was the first time we'd met, and
I know.
it was real cute because like you were dressed up as Pikachu with like a mustache on, and there's like a little clip that I
Oh
remember.
yeah, I know what you're gonna say. I'm gonna
I'm,
cry.
I'm turning around from like Oblivion, and I'm just there, like confused as shit. So are you. Like we just don't know where we're going, what we're looking at. And I just turn around and I go, I like your mustache, and you're like, thank you.
Yeah, I genuinely remember that. I need to find that video. If you can find it, will you just pop it in this podcast for everyone to
I'll
see?
put it in, I'll put it in at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That was good. So this was a good segue onto memories of Scarefest actually.
Yeah.
Go on. So what was your first memory of Scarefest that you actually remember?
The first year I went was the final year of Boiler House, and um, I only went on Boiler House that year. No, no, I went on Top, which was my first maze, then Boiler House. I didn't go on
Yeah.
Carnival Sprint because I had this panic attack about clowns at the time, and and that was a really dry Scarefest for me because it's like I was quite young and I was really scared of everything, so I didn't really have the opportunity to enjoy it. It was the first Scarefest that I went to and actually thrived and loved it was 2014, when Scary Tales was there, and I did the Sanctuary that year, and it was all well and good. The year that I remember the most though was the year we went, and
Yeah.
we we had a really good day that day, didn't we?
Oh, we had such a good time, man. Like, we'll get to that in a second, but it was kind of similar for me. Like, the first time I went, I was with like, the first Scarefest. It was like the first. It was, I don't know if Boiler House was there, but I was too young to go on anything at this point. But I was just there. I wish my memory wasn't so bad because there's so many things I can't remember these days. I'm literally closing my eyes trying to bring the memories back. But okay, so it was the year after that I really remember, and that was when the twins were about.
Yeah.
And I was with my stepsister, and I just remember being terrified of everything too. We ended up doing Sanctuary, Boiler House, the year before Sanctuary. Oh, I'm getting 2 different years mixed up in my head. This sucks so much. I was with my stepsister both times. The first time we made friends with I figured it out. First time I was with my friend called Sam from high school, and we met these 2 people there. And me and Sam we did Boiler House, and that was it. And we waited for the other guys to do Top. These guys were like 20, we were like 14. I don't know, something stupid. And that was the year I got a picture of Sean Sambrook. Sent it into him so he'd put on his show.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He signed my ticket, I think.
Wow.
I was a massive fan, mate. I was such a cringy fan. And then that brings us right up till like the year I remember the most, really, is the same year that you remember the most, which is when we went, because that was fantastic. We had a big group of people that were really awesome. But let's remember who was there. It was Matt Coleman, Emily Jane Kinder, me, you, Zach White, Megan, a girl called Megan. Do you remember Megan?
I think so, yeah.
Your friend.
Max.
Max was great. I loved Max. He was right funny. We must have bumped into some people. Adam Benson, I think.
Possible.
And Jordan, a guy. There was another guy. There was another couple of guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a picture somewhere of us all in a top queue line.
Yeah, because it was when Emily was absolutely obsessed with that Ellie Goulding song.
Yeah, and we were all singing it. I got you on my mind.
Yeah.
That song always takes me back, man. Every time I hear it, because we were singing it all day. I do remember wearing the Pikachu onesie because you promised me you'd come as Ash, but you fucked that.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. But I remember when we went on Molly Crow, it was literally just me, you, Matt, and Max, because it was a group of 4 of us.
Oh yeah, and we were just taking the piss the whole way around.
Yeah, we were just laughing. It was hilarious.
I was only laughing because I was scared though. It was one of them.
Yeah, good times though, man. Good times.
And then I remember trying to get you on sub as well as trying to get me on sub at the same time. It's quite difficult.
Oh
We
yeah,
had
and I
to
got
bounce off
incorporated
each
in.
other. Yeah. Well, man, we were trembling.
No, because I was about to drop out. I was about to leave.
It was terrifying that year though. That would have
Yeah,
been the first year of sub, right?
yeah,
That was horrible.
2015. Because in 2016, I went with my ex-girlfriend, didn't go any mazes. And 2017, which was last year, I went with Zach White, Alex, and Adam Benson came along with us as
I
well.
wish I had come on that one with you guys.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was good fun, and yeah, it was a good
Probably your
day.
fault for not inviting me, really.
I
Joking.
wasn't really in contact with you at the time, man, but like, if only because it was a really good trip. I mean, I think I enjoyed 2015 the most because it was one of the scariest Scarefests that they ever had, and we were in great company, and it was a really good year.
Well, this year I'm hoping it's going to top every other year. I'm hoping we
Oh,
bump into some great people along the way.
we've got a
And
lot in store this year, though. It's not just visiting Scarefest.
I know we've got a lot. 2016, I was with Robbie Smith. That was great. It was just me and Robbie for the entire trip, and Will Harvey joined us for a bit. That was really good. I enjoyed that. That was fun. We did every maze. We did skin snatches like 8 times, if I'm sure, because right, don't get me in trouble here, but at the back where the exit, where the entrance was, where the exit and entrance was, there was a bit of fence that you could just go into. So we just could getting on it for free, like basically on and off. We did sub a couple of times, but I was just pissing myself almost, like not laughing, like in fear. So we stopped going on that. each time was getting like the first time I managed to make it through, and then the second time I was too scared to go under the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
I hate that tunnel.
Oh, this is just getting me excited for our trip because I don't know if you guys know, but obviously me and James are visiting Alton Towers on Halloween, but we've got so much else in store. Like I'm
Go
gonna
on,
be doing.
tell him what we've got in store, mate.
Okay, so I've got a vlog coming, which I'll just be filming it on my phone. No professional stuff, just documenting what we did and how fun that week was. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be. I live in Gloucester, which is in the southwest of England. Um, and James is living in Loughborough, which is in the Midlands. And so I'm gonna be filming from the minute I leave on the train to the minute we leave on the train to come back, and I'm essentially it's gonna be me going to his. We're gonna spend the night. We're gonna reminisce. We're gonna talk about all the shit we've had at Alton Towers and Scarefest. We'll probably do a
Yeah.
live. Um, and then in the morning we're gonna go up to Towers and we're gonna set up camp because we're gonna be camping by the Chained Oak
This is
on
the
Halloween.
crazy part, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna camp at the Chained Oak on Halloween night, so that's gonna be really fun.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna spend the whole day at Towers. We're gonna go for a few drinks in the evening, come back and do a game of mini golf in the morning before heading back home, and it's gonna be excellent.
It's gonna be perfect, mate. And I think before we head home, uh, I want to go for a little explore around Alton Woods. Like the woods around there are so beautiful, and I wouldn't mind going for a walk and doing a séance in a
Yeah,
minute.
I've got a Ouija board.
There we go. Bring it with you. But yeah, it's gonna be fab. For me, this is great because I've been out of the community for quite a while. I had quite a big footprint in it before, for the wrong reasons, but um, it was brilliant. I absolutely loved being a part of it. And even though we're not really part of the same group that we were before, because no one really is kind of dispersed, I'm hoping
Yeah.
to start afresh, especially with Coast to Chaos, and just get something back. But I just my goal with all of this is to chase the feeling that I had when I first started being friends with all you guys and sort of riding rides and coming to theme parks, because as much as it was the theme park, it was the community that made it so special.
It's all well and good to sort of piss around and enjoy yourself, which is what we're going to be doing. But sometimes it's good, like this episode, to just sit and talk about the memories and enjoy it. And the thing is, like with me, I from the age of about 8 till the age of about I don't know 14, I'd be waking up on the Alton Towers morning and being like I'm going to see some of my best friends and I'm going to have an amazing day, and
Yeah,
my my eyes would light up and I'd be so excited for weeks before, and I'd get butterflies before going on coasters and
I
mazes and
know. And I want that
well,
again. I really want. And if we can't get that again, I want to chase that again at least.
yeah, and that's what Coaster Chaos is. It's for you guys to come on this journey with us and just enjoy. We've got a bit more freedom to do parks whenever we want, and we're just going to sort of do everything we can to
And we've
bring.
got so much to talk about. We've got so many different memories we can talk about.
Yeah, so it's gonna be such a good journey, and we're so glad that you guys are going to be there with us to be part of it.
So next episode should be next week. I think we do, because there's a lot more we can talk about Scarefest. So I think we do a spooky episode part 2,
Yeah,
and reminisce some more.
yeah, it sounds amazing, and like obviously we're gonna be talking about similar things. We're gonna be talking about mazes, what we're most looking forward to on our trip, and then by the time that's come out, it'll probably be getting ready to you know
Go,
we'll
yeah.
we'll probably bring Zach on for another episode before I go on the trip, and then as soon
I
as
think
we've done.
we definitely need Zach on for an episode. I've got so many questions I want to ask him.
Yeah, so what we'll do is next week, or in a few days, maybe in 3 or 4 days, we'll do another episode of Spooky Special, and then next week sometime we'll get Zach on and we'll talk about his homemade scare mazes and how he's done it, and then as soon as we've done that, it's off to Towers, and
It
we're
is.
gonna.
I'm excited. So,
There's
guys,
gonna
make sure you drop your support down in the comments and subscribe, or just message us on Facebook or something. Just let us know if you're enjoying it, because I'd like to know if people are listening. It would be nice. So just any way you can, either like press the like button or hit the subscribe button. I don't really care. I just want to know if people are listening. And we asked a few questions throughout this for you to respond to, so please do.
Yeah, and we really hope you're enjoying it, and we're glad that you're along with the journey with us.
All right, cool. Well, I've had a good time talking about Scarefest, but I think it's time to go get something to eat.
Yeah,
no, they're saying one of the things celebrating
just,
10 years of air, but that was 3 years ago. So
that's going to be fun.
Thanks for listening to.
We got some rock
Chaos
from the. Well, it says Nemesis on the inside of the rock. That is so cool. Basically, we got some rock, which is Nemesis flavour. I don't know what flavour Nemesis actually is, but probably blood flavour. It's pretty nice.
Alien blood flavour, nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down to Tanga. Should we just have a quick?
I know why Dimitri wants to eat people.
We're not going on the runaway mine train.
Hello and welcome to this lovely vlog. We did not go on the runaway mine train, but we are heading over to another excellent ride at the Alton Towers Resort, Congo River Rapids.
I think of the Ancestors show, James.
I didn't like it.
Okay. He's being the pessimist in this. Look at this.
Yeah?
Is there any way of writing the word dark forest as cute as that?
Oh, that is pretty cute actually.
Such a cute sign. It's so cute.
Wait. It's there, it's written in stone, it's on YouTube now.
It's so cute.
So yeah.
Have you done any part of minimal damage?
Hello? I like your moustache. Right, I don't like this at all. What about you guys?
This will be my fourth day.
Look at the shock on James's face, he's like,
I did it once and it was really good.
okay.
But I'm excited to top the roads. I love it. It's such a long maze, it's so good. You told me that some species was long. I was done in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but we had a shit run through. I have to say that. Like 6,000.
The fried chicken ock.
It's
my mother.
So guys.
Return, I'm sitting with James Keenan.
Yes, smash it away. Can I say something?
Yeah.
I really like this food.
This food's great. Look at this. Look at this chicken. Look at that quality piece of chicken there. Quality.
Oh, look how quality it is. Just give me that. I'll just
No,
look
it's
how
not a
quality
piece
it
of
is.
chicken.
Look at
No,
this.
hands off me food.
Look at this.
Hands.
Look cool. Oh, facial recognition. Good phone.
Okay. We had the wettest experience ever on the rapids.
Yeah, we had 3 rides on the rapids, and we got soaked by the mega wave 3 times as well.